Hello there, Eagles fans, and welcome back to our Eagles Therapy Podcast. I'm Basil.
I'm Baz.
And we are recording Sunday, July 27th, 2025. Dad, how you doing this weekend?
Pretty good. Good weekend. Good past week, actually. So, yeah, we had a little game last night. It was fun.
Yep.
Had a good day.
Oh, yeah, for the Switchbacks?
Yeah, we had a little pub crawl. It was great.
Won like 4-0?
Yes, 4-0.
Yeah, they killed him. It was
Very
great.
nice.
Sorry, not un-Eagles related. It is football related, just a different type of football.
That's right.
Yeah, that's cool. It's been a good first week of training camp just happened. Football's officially back in swing. We touched on in the last podcast. We're just, we're ready for it again. It's on its way back, and it is a good time to be an Eagles fan, that's for sure. Really, to be a football fan. I mean, it's just, I love this time of the year. It's starting to cool down a little bit. Still not too hot anymore, and it's starting to get to that point where the weekends are for one thing only.
I went outside this morning, and it felt kind of almost fallish out there. Yeah. And I kind of thought about it, like, wow, yeah, we're getting close.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's go ahead and move along. Let me give a plug to the Eagles Fan Club of Colorado Springs. That's the Facebook page. Go and join it if you're an Eagles fan and live in the Colorado Springs, Pueblo, Denver area. Come and watch a game with us this season at Rhinos Sports and Spirits. Again, we'll let you know what we're doing with the preseason. I got to text Ben, figure that out, since that's coming up pretty quick,
right.
That first Bengals game in the preseason. So we got to get ready for that. We hope to see y'all there. Before we get into the meat of the podcast, we do want to pass along some unfortunate news. Friend of the show, we've talked about him a lot. Everyone who listens before has heard of this guy probably. Our buddy JJ, unfortunately his father did pass away July 20th. When I reached out to JJ to give my condolences, he said that the last football game his father watched was an Eagles Super Bowl win, and that he passed away on a day that the Phillies were playing the Angels. So good energy coming over there, and hopefully they're on the way up and everything. We want to further give our condolences to Joanne, JJ's mother, as well as all of her family. We love you all, and we hope that you can all find peace in these tough times.
Definitely.
All right, let's get into the meat of the podcast. Let's get into some news. Number one, we're in a new spot today. If you can tell, the wall is not painted green.
That's right.
The lighting's a little bit different. We're in a little bit of a different spot. We got a TV behind the camera there playing some football highlights and everything, which is really cool. So during the season, we'll be able to watch some highlights and some games while we're doing the pod, which is great. But yeah, we're in a new spot. We decided to move down into the basement. We used to be on the second floor of my dad's house. Funny enough, that room was painted green already before he even moved in. So that was just
started in the pod, right?
It was just good luck. And yeah, but once we saw that room, we were like, man, we got to kind of do the podcast, don't we? Because we got the green room.
Yeah.
It almost felt like we had to. But we moved down into the basement. It's a lot cooler down here, and a little bit more of a nice Eagles den to have.
I agree.
So
this is where we were watching the games really when I first moved in here, but then we're like, well, we started going to Frankie's, and
yes.
It was too much not to enjoy that. It's fun down here, but
it is funny because
being with 50 people.
It is funny because the idea when you moved into this house was, oh yeah, well, we got the basement. We'll watch all the games down there. But then we found Frankie's, right. And then after that, we were watching them at my house when I had my daughter. So it was just we've only watched like 3 games down here in the last 3 years.
It's a Monday night, Thursday night place for me.
Yeah, for non-Eagles games. Yes, yeah. But yeah, we're in a good new spot, and it feels nice and cool down here, and it's nice. It's really nice. All right, we also want to talk about, now we'll get into real Eagles news, the email that was sent out to Eagles season ticket holders and non-Eagles Eagles season ticket holders. My dad got an email from the Philadelphia Eagles asking about the new stadium.
Asking me my opinion.
Yeah, asking the opinion of whether they want it to be open air or a dome or
half dome.
Half dome, yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Retractable.
Exactly. Yeah. You didn't do the poll yet.
No.
But maybe you will.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Yeah, definitely. I just got it, I think, yesterday or the day before, and I kind of went, oh, why'd I get it? Maybe because I bought tickets.
I wonder if you bought tickets. Well, when you bought tickets, did we buy someone's season tickets, maybe?
I think so.
So we bought someone's spot who was the season ticket holder. Maybe that's why we got it.
I don't know. All I know is I got it, and I kind of went, well, that's weird. Why did I get that? But I got it, so.
That's fine.
But yeah, so anyway, looking at it, thinking about it, I did see a little bit of Thomas Mott was talking about it as well. I'm not much for a dome. I like the outdoor football. I know he wants to bring a Super Bowl, and that's the only way you'd get one in Philly because, it never snows in Philly. Well, remember the playoff game last year? So they'd have to have something. February's always a cold month, so you never know what's going to happen. But, a half dome or something like that, a retractable, I guess. I saw a couple designs. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm a big fan of the dome I'm a big fan of open air, of non-dome, until I was watching the highlights of the Eagles-Rams playoff game, and I'm just like, man, if we weren't playing in snow, we would have killed these guys. We got to the one and we couldn't do the tush push because we're in the snow. We got pushed back and we're in the snow, and I was just kind of like, man, now I changed my mind. Put the retractable roof on there.
Well, that's football, right? Minnesota, Green Bay, like Ven used to always say, Minnesota, Green Bay, out in the cold weather. I mean, it definitely brings it, but it can change,
Yeah, but Minnesota is not an open air anymore. We won a Super Bowl there.
Yeah, no, I know.
Isn't that crazy? We get to say the first one. All right.
Yes.
Other news I wanted to point out: there's no new Eagles on the top 100. So we had obviously we had 95. We had Josh Sweat, who's now a Cardinal. But then we had who popped up 69 was Jordan Mailata. So that's the last one. Yeah, that's his number is 69.
Right.
Mailata 68. I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jordan Mailata popped up as number 69. So we're still waiting on more. We're at number 61. So starting tomorrow, Monday, it'll be starting at number 60.
Dropping some more.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think about it because I'm like, man, there's only 60 players left. And in my professional opinion, whatever you want to say, there has to at least be 6 Eagles on there,
right?
At least, right. And I'll tell you the names and let me know if you agree with them. Saquon Barkley,
definitely
should be number 1, but
right.
Jalen Hurts,
sure.
AJ Brown,
definitely.
Lane Johnson,
yes.
Zach Bond,
well, he has to be,
and Jalen Carter,
right? And that's 7.
I'm saying at least those 6.
Yeah.
I have some that I didn't throw on there that should be Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
Milton Williams, you could say, but if he was going to be on it, he would have been 97, 98.
But I mean, those top 6 you said are
they have to be.
Especially at this point, you kind of go, man, it's got to be, right? I mean, they have to be.
And now I'm struggling with the fact that Devontae Smith's not on there.
Right.
He hasn't been on there yet, and you're kind of like, oh, well, okay, like. He's got to be on there soon, or else he's not on there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because like you say, he wouldn't be top 20, whatever.
If Devontae's not in the top 50, he's probably not going to be on it.
Right.
That's just how it is. And he did get injured last year, so that you could also say Goddard should be on there, but he got injured last year. So some of it's tough, and it's hard to
players on there that missed half the season as well.
Correct. So, it's true. Yeah, Dak 8 games and he's on there,
and he didn't go into playoffs, and he didn't make the Super Bowl and win. So.
You're also forgetting Landon Dickerson. I should add on there, a 3-time Pro Bowler, last 3 years, 3 Pro Bowls. When's he going to be on the list? It is a difficult. It's kind of a weird terrain to walk when you're the Super Bowl winners. Though it just feels like you're kind of entitled to have a lot of people on there.
Keeping an eye on it definitely this week. I think there's probably going to be one in this top 50 to 60 range. 1 or 2 of those guys you talk about.
I agree. All right, Dad, let's get into some training camp talk. A lot of stuff coming out of training camp, a lot of good stuff. Of course, you know me with training camp. I don't take it too much to heart. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was like the greatest training camp player of all time, and
Dave Brown, we had a couple.
Ended his career with 11 catches or something like that. But so I never get big into the training camp, but still, it's nice to get some updates and stuff. So number 1, talk about Jihad Campbell. So when he started training camp, he was getting second team reps. Jeremiah Trotter and Zach Bond were running with the first team. Jihad Campbell got some first team reps at linebacker on yesterday. So he's starting to get some first team reps. So it's seeming like. Looking for this, into the future, it looks like maybe the first game of the season at least will be Bond and
there was talk. He had surgery, so that we didn't know how long it was going to take, and some of the things we'd heard from the defense coordinator, he's not going to be out there till whenever. And it was surprising he was out there the other day, and then you say you got some first team reps.
Yep.
Now the pads come on, I think this week. There's no pads yet.
Right? People would say Monday or Tuesday. I'm not too sure, but maybe Tuesday. It looks like.
So I mean that's good. I mean, hopefully, again, we want to kind of work him into it. He did have surgery on his shoulder, so you don't want to start taking any hits or anything like that. But yeah, go ahead.
Next one, bad news for Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo on the first day, he got the first shot at first team reps in the 7-7s and 11-on-11s. Bad news for him. Adoree Jackson got the first shot at first team reps the next 2 days because on that first day, reports kind of came out that it was a tough day for Ringo. You try to defend it by saying, well, he's going up against A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, so you kind of got to give him a little bit of a break. It's his first time getting first team reps, and he's playing against 2 of the best receivers.
It's like 2-hand touch too. I mean, you're not killing each other out there. You're not banging them off the line or anything like that. But yeah, we definitely did as far as I'm concerned, I wanted him to win that job. So hopefully,
more than anything,
hopefully it's just a dip or something, and then hopefully brings it back. Of course, if Dory Jackson's bringing it, that's good too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. There's no bad first team guy. Whoever gets that first team, you kind of want them to get it. That's just kind of how it
prove
is.
themselves somehow. So
yes, that's right. Next one, safe to say, Tyler Steen. Safe to say he's winning that battle for the right guard in a landslide. He started training camp there. He has not let up the position at all. Last year, he went the first 3 days of the guy. Then he had the ankle injury.
Right.
They threw Becton in there, and then that was all she
took
wrote.
it away.
So right now, Steen's still holding up. Void getting injured, and that should be his right guard spot to stay.
That's good. And hopefully, again, there's the competition with Kennard. Is it
Kenyon Green?
Yeah. So hopefully, there's. The competition is still there. I know we have a few other young linemen that are out there as well, but we definitely would like to see him decide who's it's going to be and his role with it, because he's only going to get better with the guys surrounding him.
Absolutely. Lane Johnson, a Hall of Famer to his right, and Cam Jurgens, already a Pro Bowler in his first year as a center, to his left.
Yeah.
Avery Williams, Will Shipley getting the first reps as kick returners. Not a surprise. Will Shipley was kind of the I guess he wasn't the primary kick returner last year. It was Gainwell and Covey, kind of. Covey had like one, but it was mostly Gainwell and Shipley. I think Shipley and Avery Williams will be the number one kick returners this year.
Well, Shipley had that beautiful 40-yarder in the NFC Championship game.
Correct, yeah.
The game or opened it after they scored the 3 points.
Yeah, Commanders go down and kick a field goal, and then they kicked off to us, and then Saquon 60-yard.
Just seeing that alone to me, it gives him those dual properties where he's going to be the backup running back and the kick returner. I'm game. But Williams is the guy that they supposedly went for to become a returner. So
Correct.
Hopefully he can do that.
Yes. Also a great special teamer, hopefully.
Yes. Well, he's got the speed, that. So
yep. Other reports from training camp, kind of the special team stuff. I know this is more of the boring stuff, but I love talking about it all. Pardon me. Fullback Ben Van Sumeren and Jeremiah Trotter had some good battles out there, as well as Dallas Gant, some of our ace special teamers that we're looking to see for this season. Jihad Campbell talks about him being, he ran some special team reps, and you kind of wonder, with him coming off an injury and Kobe coming off an injury, you don't really think that he'll be playing any special teams. But rookies play a lot of special teams when they come into the league, and, especially linebacker position, no matter when they're drafted. And a guy like Vic Fangio, that old school guy, he's going to want that special teams label on those guys for a while.
That's how you make the teams. That's how a lot of these guys in the NFL make it. So you cut your bones there and then go from there. So hopefully they do have that. And you don't want to have anybody like a Cooper DeJean returning punts now, because
definitely not.
So there's certain players you'd rather not be out there, unless they have to be.
Yeah.
But if you got the other guys on the roster that can do that, more power to them.
That's right. Most interesting thing I wanted to point out as far as training camp that we've heard has been the big talk about Jalen Hunt. Jalen Hunt has been getting a lot of praise from teammates, from coaching staffs, most notably our left tackle, second-team All-Pro left tackle, and Super Bowl winning champion left tackle. Right. Jordan Mailata stated that Jalen Hunt, he said he's going to be a star. He says he's got great potential, and he compared him to Micah Parsons, which, man, sounds like a little bit too much for a second-year guy who was a safety only 4 years ago at Cornell. But he had really high praise for him, and I trust Jordan Mailata as I'm watching him steamroll some guys on that TV over there. I tend to believe him. So interesting thought, though. What do you think, Dad?
We saw what he did at the end of the year last year. He just got better and better. So hopefully he continues that. And there's a few other guys that are looking good, but definitely he's getting the reps and he's getting the praise, and he's hungry. He definitely plays that way, so that's the good thing.
Big time, yeah. No, he was hungry. You could tell, in the Super Bowl and in the postseason, he had a great sack against Matt Stafford in that Rams game. He should have had his own sack in the Super Bowl, as we keep on talking about. And he finished the season off on a bang, and same with Nolan Smith. So you'd really love to see both those guys ride that momentum,
step right back into that role, and continue to what they were doing.
Exactly, especially with the defensive end position that you don't know much about. It's really those two guys, and then a couple veterans from other teams, and a rookie draft pick in the 7th round. You're just like, I'm not too sure.
Two defense ends that left. BG retires, and then Sweat gets signed. So you got some openings. Hopefully they can fit right in like they were, and then build from there.
That's right. That I have nothing else on training camp. Anything you have before I jump into the debates?
I just heard some. There was also some chatter about Ajomo playing well and doing really good. And then you look at it and Hurts was making great passes. I guess one of the things I'd heard was that he was hitting Goddard with a lot of passes in training. So as if like, hey, that's going to be a big part of the game again. Maybe this is the year that Goddard gets those 9 or 100 yards or whatever, but we'll see. But
I know.
I mean, it was interesting to read. I know that's just training camp stuff. What are you doing? You're just throwing the ball, but apparently he looks good, which is great.
Yeah. Well, and obviously, and since you talked about Ajomo, I'll throw some out there too. Big talks in the free agent market. There's been talk about Christian Wilkins, the guy who was on Miami, and then I think the last 2 years or maybe just 1 year on the Raiders. Pro Bowler and has been a really good defensive tackle in this league. 9 sacks, I think, 2 years ago.
Yes.
Really good player, but coming off an injury last year, only played 4 games, something like that. So not a great, coming off a tough injury. And there's been talks about, Eagles and rich get richer, stuff like that, trying to get him and everything. And I'm not a big fan of the situation. I'm not a big fan of adding guys. We kind of talk about it. Adding defensive linemen never really works for us, especially when it's like late in the season or late in the preseason, whenever. It doesn't seem to really work out for us. Pointing out Robert Quinn is kind of my big one that I'm talking about there.
We've had a few others. You and I were talking about that earlier too.
Yeah.
What was the guy from Tampa Bay that became a defensive lineman for us? I mean, we were just that was a couple of years ago,
but yeah. So I'm not too much looking to that. I'd rather we talk about the young guys. You and I are big advocates for the young guys, and it's like, man, I'd rather have Moro Jomo, have his chance. And it's the other thing we always talk about, and I know it's a dumb thing to say over and over because every it's not even analysis at this point. Iron sharpening iron. It's like it's like the Keely Ringo defending A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. That's good that he's, it shows that he's playing against the best wide receiver duo in the league.
Against the best, you're going to get better.
Yeah, and it's like Moro Jomo. He's going up against Landon Dickerson. He's going up against Cam Jurgens. I'm sure there's times he's going up against Lane Johnson.
Exactly.
I'm fine. I'm fine with him, getting that practice.
Struggling in preseason.
Exactly. And the fact that he's not struggling, that he's been doing great, makes you feel even better, But especially because it's a guy playing also right next to Jalen Carter, who you think is the best player in the league.
I do.
I know he's up there. He's
staying with it.
I know. All right, Dad.
He'll be number 1 overall, 100 player.
Maybe he deserves it. Man, what do you think? What do you? Sorry, I'm trying to. I know we're going to move along, but now I'll actually.
Carter 40, 45.
Well, I was going to say.
I think.
What do you think is his peak in his career?
Wow. I don't know, man. He's just getting better every year. And
Chris Jones has been in the top 10, right?
Sure.
So then Jalen Carter is going to be in the top 10 one day. Aaron Donald probably was top 5 at one point. I think he was number 1.
Yeah, he could have very well.
We might see him one day. We think you see Jalen Carter in the top 100.
Hey, man.
I don't know.
Continue to grow.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let's get into the big thing that's been kind of going around on the social medias, on the TV networks, all that sort of stuff. The big football talk, the Cam Newton debate. Obviously, I know you saw, Dad, that Cam Newton came out and said some stuff about, Jalen and not saying he's bad, but he didn't have him in his top 10, and he was saying, there's a lot of stuff that I could do that he can't, and all that sort of stuff. What are your thoughts?
Things that Jalen can do that he can't.
Absolutely.
He'll never be able to do either.
It's true. But the big thing that's spurned from this is the debate online on social media is about who's better, Cam Newton and Jalen Hurts. And I wanted to get your thoughts on this.
In my opinion, there's no debate, even though he doesn't have an MVP like Cam did that one season. But, the guy's been in 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years. He's still in his young mids-26. Cam, he's out. He left. His career ended fairly early. It's not even a thing. I can't even imagine. It's just.
So you think Jalen's better than him?
Way better.
Okay.
Way better.
So I'm on the other side.
Better running quarterback.
I'm on the other side. I'm not. I've turned around on Jalen Hurts. The way I was last year, the way I am now, I'm in full agreements that he's a top 10 quarterback. I'm in full agreements of that. But I do still think Cam Newton. I do think Cam Newton was a better player. Cam Newton. You look at that 2015 team.
It's amazing.
I mean, he had nobody on that roster. You look at that roster. I mean, they had some Pro Bowls, all pros, but it was all the defense. Right. And it was like his center. And then he had Greg Olsen, the tight end, was good. But his wide receivers, his running backs, I mean, there was nothing. And you're just like, man, how did this team make the Super Bowl? I'm on the Cam Newton side of it. I'm not saying that he's worlds better than Jalen Hurts. I think when it's all said and done, Jalen Hurts will be better. Yeah. But Jalen Hurts is only 4-year starter. Cam Newton started 10 years. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and give Cam the nod for now, but, enjoy it for the time being.
I still can't get that play out of my mind when it had in the Super Bowl. So yeah. To me, that just shows you a player that doesn't sacrifice for his team like Jalen Hurts does. Look at he's just getting his butt kicked every game. And, maybe at this point you could say career-wise, whatever, I would put his win-loss versus our win-loss or Jalen Hurts' win-loss. I don't know what Cam's is, but
yeah, I never looked
he had some bad teams too. He had some bad years.
He definitely did. He definitely did. I will say I think Jalen has had a better team around him his entire career. Well, not his entire career, but as opposed to most of Cam's career, his rosters were terrible. And again, I'm not taking this time to bash Jalen Hurts like I was doing last year. I'm done with that. That's the old Basil. I'm on to the new Basil. And no, to me, Jalen Hurts is easily a top 10 quarterback, but I'm still probably going to be on the Cam Newton side of that. But it is important to note, Cam Newton, his career did end very early. Jalen Hurts, you kind of hope with the way that he plays football and the injuries he sustained, you got to kind of worry about that at some point as well. Get a little bit worried about his length of football career. He's over. He's never played a full season, has he? I mean, 2023, he played a full season and he got hurt in the last game of the year. So it's a weird little thing to do there. But it is a worry in the future. But I think
a quarterback too is going to get injured.
I agree.
So just like Cam and just like Hurts, they're going to get injured because they run the ball a lot.
Yeah. But I think when all said, same with this guy, Lamar Jackson. But I think when it's all said and done, I have no doubt that Jalen Hurts will be way higher in the quarterback rankings all time than Cam Newton.
I'd have to look at his win-loss record and things like that, but I know it's not stellar, that's for sure. In those last few years, it was bad.
I mean, it's just the one good year, right? They went 15-1. That was the big deal. But it was just it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there was much else.
But, of course, you remember he was drafted high because the team was so bad.
That's true.
That's what happens when you remember one pick.
First overall pick.
That's what happens. I mean, it's going to take 2 or 3 years to build the team now. But, of course, the people building the teams don't know what they're doing. So
yeah. All right, Dad, you got anything else? You've got a kind of short episode here, nothing really to talk about. I think the next episode that we record, I think we're going to go ahead and do our roster predictions. Yeah. But we wanted to give it a little bit more time because we haven't even, we're not before it's almost the preseason, but we're still, almost 2 weeks away from our first preseason game. So it's kind of, It's a little too early to do our roster predictions, but I think the next time we record, we will as our final 53-man roster. But kind of a short episode because I got nothing else to talk about, Dad.
No, that's fine.
All right. Let's real quick jump on some other sports. The Phillies just lost today 4-3 to the Yankees, but they were going for the sweep, so they won the series. They won their last 2, the Red Sox,
so and 3 on the road.
Yep, beat the Red Sox and then beat the Yankees. So they're going they're 60-45 right now. The Union had a great game the other day. I told you to watch the highlights. It was great game against the Colorado Rapids actually in Philly. Almost got kind of. Man, I almost got kind of screwed out of that first goal. I thought it should have been a goal, but it was not. The ball didn't cross the whole line, which is the dumbest thing about soccer. One of the dumbest things. But they're back in the first seed of the Eastern Conference, those Union, so that's good stuff. And nothing on the other sports. Dad, you got anything else to say?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. If you like our Eagles Therapy podcast, do us a favor. Rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Comment down below. You can email us any questions at oureaglestherapy@gmail.com. But other than that, from all of us here at Our Eagles Therapy Podcast, I'm Basil.
And I'm Baz.
Go Birds.
Fly, Eagles, fly.